everyone. Welcome to a brand new episode of Cut to Cut. Today, we are going to talk to an actor who doesn't really need an introduction because through years of work, he has established before his audience his talent, his artistry, and his versatility in grasping all kinds of roles. Let's listen to him talk about his new film. So, Ranvir, the movie Godhra is releasing on March.
That's what I'm told, yes.
Yeah. So, what was your first reaction when you were handed over the script?
Actually, Godhra, the script came to me through Manoj Joshi ji. Manoj Joshi was already playing a part in it. And, he told me about the film being made. And of course, it's a very, significant, important event in the history
And
of the country.
controversial.
And I don't know why it's controversial. I mean, but it's an important event in history, and I was glad that a film is being made about it, and even though it's a small film, it's a very small film, and Manoj wanted me to play a part kind of opposite his the character that he plays. He said he flattered me by saying they need a good actor for that part. So I was like, yes, okay, I would like to do this.
So you are playing Mahmood Qureshi, and from the trailer, it's quite evident that you are trying to establish that this was just a mere accident. The
Yes.
burning of the train, the of Sabarmati Express, was a mere accident.
Yep.
Now, the entire narrative that has been built over this incident, on this incident, is that most of the films that have been made on this topic, be it Parzania or Firak, everything has always been about the riots and not what actually started the riots. So, did you think that while reading the script that it might get a little out of hand? Maybe you will be ostracized, or maybe um, इसको वापस नहीं लाना चाहिए.
No, in fact, I think it should be made precisely for the reasons that you just mentioned, which is that if so much has been, so many films and so many articles and so much is spoken about the subsequent riots that happened, definitely, what sparked that conflict is very important to document in history and also, on film. So it was precisely these reasons that I did it,
And do you think that the script does justice to unearth the real reason, or has it again monkey balanced?
I think it's best we leave it for the audience to decide,
Okay.
and
Why I'm asking this?
two things I'll say. First, going back to your last question, I forgot to, answer about my any fear of being ostracized. So see, first of all, I have lived with a certain glass ceiling in this industry for whatever reason. So I am not new to that. To being ignored or sidelined or like the word you use, ostracized. And second, if for speaking the truth, if speaking my truth and standing up for the community that I am part of, if that is going to cause people to ostracize me, well and good, because I mean, I don't see any other people, actors or artists from any other community or political leaning being ostracized for speaking their mind or or expressing their truth or being part of films and art, that is art and entertainment that speaks from that view. So if that be the case, that for being truthful I am to be ostracized, I'm willing to face that. Now, your second question, which you asked me about monkey balancing. First thing, I don't think we should. I see this happening a lot, especially in the right wing followers,
Hmm.
which is that calling balance, looking down upon balancing. So, I mean, unless you are completely, I don't think balance on its own is a bad thing. I think it's very important for life,
Hmm.
uh, uh, keeping a balance. But of course, I think what they mean by monkey balancing is that the hypocrisy of having a one-sided narrative.
Yeah.
So in that sense, no, I don't think it is a one-sided narrative. I think it speaks from both for both sides.
Hmm.
Uh, but the facts, as far as I know, have not been messed with.
Okay.
That much.
Why I said monkey balancing was one of the films that your colleague Nandita Das made, Firak. Uh, it it brought out a very human story. The all the plots and the subplots, but it was very one sided, and it did not show the other side. सब कुछ एक तरीके से दिखाया गया. Even this, and also when we saw the mainstream film Rais, uh, Shah Rukh Khan's character was inspired, quote unquote, by Abdul Latif, who was told, who now it's widely known that he was behind the, instigating the mob and all. So, usme bhi he has been glorified. So everything has they've done it very meticulously. The way they have projected their side of the story is very meticulously done. And when you just said that representing your community or your people or your clan, even Nandita was also is a Hindu and she was also presenting a story. But यहाँ पे you are a Hindu, but you are playing a Muslim character, and you have been pitted to present the opposite side. So how do you see this as a, as a leveler?
Well, first of all, I haven't seen Firak, sadly, and neither Rais. I should, put this disclaimer right now that I don't watch a lot of Hindi films, and
Okay.
I only watch Hindi films that are very highly recommended by friends, or
Hmm.
uh, so there are exceptional films which I
But
watch.
Firak was highly it was awarded, and it was
No, no, I didn't say awarded. I said I have trusted who some friends whose sense of
okay.
aesthetic and sense of even morality or values that I trust. Only when they recommend, I watch a Hindi film. Otherwise, I don't watch most of what
ठीक
comes
है.
out. Now, please don't judge me for that. Second
I
thing
won't
you said,
judge you, Nandita might.
I meant people. I meant people. Yeah.
Hmm.
And second thing is, I don't think it's my place to comment on what Nandita has made. She is an artist. She has her own point of view,
Hmm.
and it's her right to express that. And coming to my participation in Godhra, like I said, the choosing the script was important for me. The me, or speaking from the community that I belong to. In that
Hmm.
sense, saying yes to the script was, that was part of the decision. But
Hmm.
once I am in the professional, when I'm in my professional area, I am not a Hindu, I am not a Muslim, I am just an
Hmm.
actor.
An artist, yeah.
So, in fact, there are a couple of times they changed the role that I was being given. Normally, I would not do that for any other film. That the role that I was decided to do, they decided to change my role to whatever they saw fit. I gave them that liberty to whatever part you want me to play, you tell me, I'll play that part.
Okay.
So, wherever they felt they needed my skills the most, I have given them that liberty to choose that. So all that comes from from being like the community that I belong to, that if this needs to be expressed, this is a story that needs to be told, I should be part of this film. But once I am a professional, in the professional sphere, I don't think of myself as Hindu, Muslim, left, right. It becomes purely about cinema. It becomes about the dialogue. It becomes about the performances, about the story, about the shooting.
Hmm.
Um, so me playing the lawyer for the Muslim side was entirely their decision. It was
Okay.
it was not mine.
Okay. Um, did it ever occur to you that because you are known for your acting prowess and because you're always so convincing on screen, that the audience who the a part of the audience who are still not aware of the reality of Godhra and the train burning might just feel ki nahi, he whatever he's saying does carry some weight. Maybe what the commission report says might be a little unhinged. Did you ever fear that?
Well, I hope and pray for God's sake that people don't take my word over a commission.
Huh?
That if I'm not mistaken, it was the High Court or Supreme Court retired judges that sat on the commission.
Hmm.
So I certainly hope that me as an actor is not like ये रणवीर कह रहा है तो commission question में आ गई.
But
I
you know, there still are, though, while I was watching Article 370, the Yami Gautam's new release, and it is remarkable. I would really recommend the movie. Though the audience was very aware that kya hua tha and what is the reality, but you know, there are still those one or two ikka dukka people who will still question कि नहीं ये सही नहीं था, ये इसमें
But
कुछ
Sharmi, you're wasting your breath on those ikka dukka people. They are not there for those ikka dukka people are
हम्म
saying things that they are saying not because they want to, they're interested in the truth or facts
हम्म
or justice for that matter. They
हम्म
are there to peddle a narrative.
हम्म
So I've said this many times, when a country as large as ours shakes off a power center that has existed, for 70 years, there
हम्म
is bound to be this kind of resistance. These are not people who are interested in the truth or facts or conversation or justice. They want to peddle a narrative because they want to be back in power. So ये इक्का दुक्का को आप ना इतनी अहमियत दें. Don't waste your breath on these people. Neither do I. And more people are not doing it.
but yes, that's the positive thing. But what if the same club tells you कि आप भी तो narrative peddle कर रहे हो?
Okay, fine. I am okay with that. And like I said, I mean, filmmaking is about narrative. जब एक कहानीकार अपनी कहानी बता रहा है तो वो अपने नजरिए से ही बताएगा ना.
ठीक.
यहाँ चलो ये भी होता है कि मैं कहानी लिख रहा हूँ, मैं शर्मी के नजरिए से लिखूंगा, वो भी मैं कर सकता हूँ.
हम्म
सो हर तरह की कहानी बननी चाहिए. मैंने ये तो नहीं कहा कि आप दूसरे नजरिए की फिल्म मत बनाओ, बट आई एम सेइंग डोंट डिस एंड लुक डाउन एंड ट्रैश the other sides of a story, because
Which had happened during Kashmir Files.
exactly. And I stood up for I stood up for that. I mean, I had reservations about a few things in terms of cinematic merit on the film,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
definitely his right to make that film and for the audience to see it. I stood up for it.
Are you apprehensive about the backlash that you might face?
Not really. I don't live with fear, Sharmi. This is one of the good things I think that my father left with us.
Yeah, you
Uh,
are
you
quite
know,
vocal on social media also. We have noticed. Uh,
yeah. I mean, I like to express myself, and I like to express myself honestly. I
yeah,
don't mean to. I'm not doing it to hurt anyone, but I definitely intend to express myself and do it honestly, because I mean, whatever little privilege life has given me, what use is it if I can't even express myself freely?
absolutely,
Hmm.
absolutely. So, Ranveer, over the past 2 years, we've noticed a lot of movies on these incidents are happening. Like you had Kashmir files, then you had the Kerala story, then you had we have Godhra, then you had OMG 2, which I feel was a very important movie that youngsters should watch, parents should watch. So, what do you have to say about these kind of movies that are also attracting the audience, जो शायद मतलब बस मेन स्ट्रीम में ही पड़े थे, like you are having mainstream movies but you're also having this kind of movies. Do you think the government, it's the current government के ऊपर this is it depends on the current government or the state of mind of people, and they are accepting these kind of films much more?
First of all, I think OMG would qualify as a mainstream big film. So
Yeah.
that's definitely a mainstream. What's the other film you said?
Kerala Story,
Okay, Kerala
Kashmir
Stories.
Files.
Yeah, those were smaller films that did well. Now
Well,
that's what I would like to see more of. Actually, I would like to
hmm.
see smaller films, independent films doing well, but that's my own story in life. So I don't want to diverge. So the second thing which you said was, sorry, help me. What was the second thing that you said?
I said that are these movies coming more
Ha.
often?
So yeah. So first thing is that government, to me, to my understanding, is like parents.
Hmm.
So a good chunk of what is wrong with because I've heard narratives like, अरे यार हमारी सरकार ऐसी नहीं है, हमारी तो पब्लिक ही ऐसी है, you know.
Hmm.
So I don't really buy that argument, because what is a parent's job? Parent's job is, before keeping the child disciplined, even before that, it is to inculcate the right values.
Hmm.
So and I'm not trying to look down upon the values that this country started with in
Hmm.
1947, but I am saying that down the line, that those values that founded India as we know it, the constitution that we live with now, those values down the line got corrupted very badly. uh, uh, and got corrupted. Not even, I would say, one kind of corruption is where, which is a function of time. When a lot of time passes, some mutations happen, and
Yeah.
things spoil and get corrupted. You look at the history of, for example, Sanatan Dharma. You see that every few hundred years, thousand years, a new panth evolved, or a new.
True.
So,
True.
so that is one. The corruption that happened since 1947 in our country was actually to keep one dynasty in power.
Hmm.
Everything kind of
Focused.
focused
Yeah.
around that dynasty. Even if for the brief periods when the dynasty was not in power, it was either splinter group, something to do with them, thesis, antithesis, synthesis, jo bhi ho, something to
Ji.
do with that. So by and large, for 60, 70 years, more than 70 years, when one family, one dynasty has been the center of power of a country, though,
Hmm.
and that becomes the focus, the founding values got corrupted. And what we see now, I think, since 2014, since 2019, is a correction of that.
Ji.
कि सेक्युलरिज्म के नाम पे, या इवन गरीबी हटाओ के नाम पे, जो करप्शन हुई है इन कॉन्सेप्ट्स की, इन आइडियाज की,
Ji.
ये हम इंडिया हैज वोटेड टू करेक्ट दैट नाउ. So now, coming to your third part of your question, that these kind of films are coming around now, this tells you that these kind of films were muzzled earlier. So
Ji.
these, so now, if these kind of, I'm not saying दूसरी तरह की फिल्में बंद होनी चाहिए,
Films
not at all.
and books. Films and
Yes, yeah,
books.
yes. So now people are expressing themselves. In fact, for me, one of the biggest reasons for Kashmir Files' success was the catharsis that people felt.
Ji.
Something which which has been happening, but you haven't seen it documented, haven't been seen it,
Yeah.
in any art form or
Hmm.
any writings. Or writings, so chalo thodi bahut hongi, but they were also kind of under the carpet,
Yeah. Yeah.
muzzled and subdued. So yes, to answer your question in one line, I do think that the government in power makes a difference to the
Hmm.
national narrative, national discourse, and that is normal, absolutely normal.
So, you belong to an industry that is known to have a certain narrative. Like, they wouldn't like to express their nationalism or, their their adherence to the Hindu faith so much as the majority would like them to do. Uh, ये जो आप they are more into peddling certain narratives that are a little distorted, that are a little disturbing. Do you think your following or adhering to a certain stream of thought jeopardizes your standing in the industry? Because you have contemporaries, you have people, you might be mingling with people who would say, या तू ऐसी scripts क्यों choose कर रहा है?
No, I think I've already answered this, Sharmi, earlier, two questions earlier, when I told you that if expressing my own truth, or whether it's on social media or in the choices that I make as an artist, if expressing my truth is going to get me ostracized or sidelined, I told you, A, I've already had a taste of it, and second, I'm okay with that. I mean, that's a price I'm willing to pay, because I told you it's useless to be blessed with whatever little success I have, whatever privilege life has given me, whatever voice society has given me, if I cannot speak honestly.
Yeah. So you are nicely straddling between doing these important movies like Godhra, and then you're also doing choosing scripts like Karak, which shows that part of urban society where a lot of dilution has seeped in. The Western concepts, people are celebrating Diwali, but not how ideally they should be celebrated. And then you're also doing a sunflower. What keeps how do you maintain that balance between these kind of scripts where you're also showcasing the devaluation, the loss of values that the urban society is facing these days, where a lot of people don't understand what Sanatan Dharma is, yet they want to be all cool and do all these Tash parties and Diwali parties. And Karak actually showed the level of hypocrisy that has seeped in, the shallowness, the lack of values that have seeped into urban Indian life.
Yes, but I do think Kadak did reflect the shallowness of urban
It was
life.
amazing. It was
but
amazing.
but I don't think in any way it kind of devalues Diwali. And because you see there are firecrackers being burst outside in the film constantly, if you look at some of the visuals and the
Yeah.
audio track. But yes, fireworks or a Lakshmi Puja was not featured in it. And it's true that many nowadays many Hindu families do celebrate like that, where puja is a quick shortcut puja and so 10-15 minutes patake jalaye shagun ke, and then it's a party. And yes, playing cards is part of now. So I don't think it devalued Diwali in any way, but yes, it did satire on the values of
Hmm.
on urban Indian life.
Hmm.
As far as doing different kind of films is concerned, I have said earlier also, Sharmi, I want all kinds of films to be made, because all kinds of stories to be told. That is the richness in the in the tapestry of our film industry.
Hmm.
Not I don't want any one sided one sided people having an edge or having dominance, uh, especially politically. So this is exactly what I what I'm standing up to, or a lot of people are standing up to. When you do a film like Godhra, or when you stand up for Kashmir Files and Kerala Story and all. Uh, but the reverse is also true. You cannot turn around and say, "Acha, ab tum ye film mat banao." You know.
Hmm.
Uh,
So, you have always been a you've made it very obvious that you're a very proud Hindu Punjabi. Now,
mhm.
what the country faced in 1984, uh, the people who were allegedly accused of instigating the riots and who politically backed the riots, uh, they were never questioned, or they were never brought to task the same way as our PM Narendra Modi was actually made to sit before the SIT and answer rigorous questions. ऐसी कोई फिल्म होनी नहीं चाहिए क्या कि to show what actually happened in the 1984 riots, and who were the people behind it, and who were the people suffering.
Okay, I haven't seen them, but I do know that few films have been made on 1984, and still others have referenced it. But to answer your question, of course, honi chahiye. I think I don't think 84 ka jo incident tha, justice has been served in that. But a lot of that also, sorry to say, but I also hold responsible the community itself, because I mean, after 1984, what makes the Sikh Punjabi community vote for the Congress? I have never understood this. Or for that matter, I still don't understand what the Sikh community has against Narendra Modi right now. I mean, if you see the farmers protest, most of what is
Alleged
happening.
farmers, yes, protests, yes.
Yeah, so I mean, even if right now there is a Aam Aadmi Party government in Punjab, and it's clear that they are instigating and supporting these protests,
Hmm.
for political gain, I still don't understand how the Sikh community, how they reached this conclusion that Modi is the enemy. I am not able to understand that even now,
Hmm.
and I'm not able to understand how they kept Congress in power for years in spite of knowing what 1984 was about. So I can only, I can only blame more corruption. You know,
Hmm. So, if somebody gets you a script that you read, and you find that yes, it does present a balanced picture, will you accept it?
balanced picture according to who? According to me?
According to you, according to what you know, according
Yes,
to the
according to
stories
me.
that.
Yeah, according to me, yes. But
Uh,
I'm saying my balanced would is not necessarily your balanced or somebody else's balanced. You know,
okay,
and I'm
okay.
saying as filmmakers and as artists, all three of us have a right to express ourselves where we stand.
Hmm. Ranveer, you have been in the industry for so long, and you have been part of mainstream films. You have been part of, cinema that
In
is a little different. Um, is there any kind of story that you want to make or you want to be part of, but you think that people don't see that in your directors or storytellers haven't yet approached you for such kind of cinema?
Yes, I don't know why producers with big budgets don't approach me for lead roles.
You know what? I'll give you a little thing. Actually, I had commented on your Twitter, when it was Twitter, that you should be actually playing a lead guy in a romantic film, a very intellectual with chashma and all, because you have done a romance with Malika Shirawat and it was fun.
It was fun,
So
yeah.
yeah, so maybe someday that will happen, God willing.
Well,
So
maybe before I turn 70, 80, yeah.
please, age. What does age have to do with
Acha,
it?
you want me to be in a old age home romance?
Kyun we have Harrison Ford? We have girls still swooning over Harrison Ford, right? And
Chalo,
Richard
aapke.
Gere.
By the time Harrison Ford was my age, he had probably done his best work already. मेरे को
Okay.
तो अभी
Any kind of like say historical fiction or scripts based on history, because a lot of historical movies are being made. We have Savarkar coming.
Hmm.
We had films like Hanuman doing so well. The audience is really ready for such scripts and for such stories. So, has any producer approached you, or have you been talking to any writer or producer to give you these chances?
Well, frankly, I have not, thank God for that, that I have not had to reach out and ask for work for quite long.
Hmm.
I would say, luckily, almost 20 years, I have managed
Hmm.
to make a living by work just by the offers coming to me.
Hmm.
Um, of course, there are that has ups and downs. There are some years where you are more wanted than other years where you are not
Hmm.
as wanted.
Hmm.
But one can only hope, that writers,
Hmm.
directors, producers will want to use you in the stories that they want to tell. And like I said, I am not stuck up on any one kind of story. I'm open to, because for me it's the cinematic merit that counts. What is the quality of the script? What is how interesting is my role? How exciting is the director's vision?
Hmm.
In the professional sphere, these things are more important than maybe the maybe the other larger leanings of whether it is historical or whether it is fiction or whether it is whether it is real fact based or it is fantasy. These things are secondary. The important thing in films, and now when you see that, you said these kind of films are getting made, of a certain another narrative films are being made, you will see that quality wise, there is room for a lot of room for improvement.
Yes,
uh,
yes.
uh,
So,
so
yes,
no,
please carry on.
so I was saying that one should focus more on the craft of filmmaking as well.
Hmm.
It's not just the content or the substance of the film. It is also the technical finesse of the film.
Absolutely, because what I noticed that when uh, when, like, if I take Godhra, if I take the incident of Godhra as an instance, the films that earlier came out on Godhra, they were very well made, extremely well made films,
Yes.
and uh, कहीं इधर से उधर से एक डिस्टॉर्टेड नैरेटिव पेडल करके चले गए, लेकिन किसी को समझ में नहीं आया बिकॉज पीपल वर swooning over the craft of it. you know uh, Somehow there is this very popular idea that the left इन्होंने आर्ट को अपने ग्रास में रखा हुआ है.
इन्होंने वही, मैं आपको प्लीज रेफर बैक टू क्वेश्चन 2. जहां स्टेट पेट्रनेज होती है 50 साल, 60 साल, 70 साल, दैट थिंग इम्प्रूव्स. उसकी क्वालिटी
हम्म.
इंप्रूव होती, कोई भी चीज हो.
हम्म.
अगर state patronage, you're giving breaks to the shoe manufacturing sector. In
हम्म.
50 years we will be making really good shoes. China तो इसका खड़ा एग्जांपल है. आई एम नॉट सेइंग कि हमको भी वन पार्टी रूल हो जाना चाहिए लाइक चाइना, या बिकम कम्युनिस्ट लाइक चाइना. बट
हम्म.
प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू से, कि जब स्टेट
या.
पेट्रनेज, स्टेट का हाथ जिस जिस चीज के पीछे होता है ना, ओवर टाइम दैट थिंग इम्प्रूव्स. माँ बाप
इम्प्रूव्स.
माँ बाप जिस चीज की आपकी ट्यूशन लगाते हैं ना,
जी जी
उसमें,
जी.
उस सब्जेक्ट में आपके नंबर सूनर और लेटर अच्छे आने शुरू हो जाते हैं.
हम्म. तो हम होप कर सकते हैं कि इन अ फ्यू इयर्स this part of, like, or the right camp of filmdom will start making, will have honed the craft better.
That's what I'm saying, hopefully, yeah.
Yeah. So um, when you were doing Godhra, when we were working on the film Godhra, did you meet any of the families who faced the brunt of the mob when you were
No,
researching it?
no, I didn't. I don't think I would have the heart to, frankly. It's a terrible thing that happened, and yeah, coming back to the film, most of my research was done for me, handed to me. I play a supporting role in the film. although my name might seem bigger to you, mine and Manojji's, but there are other principal characters in the film. And it was, I mean, whatever little I checked, like I said, the facts have not been tampered with, and so I relied wholly on the filmmakers for any research or inputs.
Okay. And if you did you have the license to suggest changes if you thought
Well, not definitely not on the facts, but performance wise, yes, of course, yeah.
yeah,
I
only
mean,
the
most,
technical side of it.
yes, yes. I mean, as an actor, you have to be careful not to overstep that line. नहीं तो in the business they start saying ये तो आके set पे आता है तो change करवाता है, and
हाँ हाँ हाँ.
short बताता है director को and all. So one has to अपनी मर्यादा के अंदर रह के whatever I could advise, I have done that.
Ranveer, on X, on your social media, when the Ram Mandir was being going to be inaugurated, you made a very emotive and expressive tweet on how you never used to believe in the Ram Mandir Sthapana because
No,
of.
no, no, no. I don't. No, no. I didn't say I didn't believe. I said I was one of the many Hindus who were willing to sacrifice it for the sake of peace.
Okay.
Which is not to say that
Yes,
if
yes.
at
My
that
bad.
time,
Hmm.
if 1948, if the temple had been made, amicably between the two parties, it was decided, okay, fine, take this, it belongs to you,
Hmm.
as an act of reconciliation, that I would be against it. No, all I was saying that I was one of the many Hindus who were willing to sacrifice this. Okay, if this brings peace,
Hmm.
let's go for peace.
Hmm. What
But
changed? You feel that nahi, the mandir is an important. It's like a shot in the arm for Hindus in the
not a
country.
shot in the arm. My point again, if you read what I wrote, which is this thing that when you try to sacrifice righteousness or doing the right thing for the sake of peace, that is a temporary peace, because justice has not been served. वो आपके लिए you will buy a peace for some time, but sooner or later it will come up again, that in the karmic whatever cycle. So
Ji.
that is what. And yes, as far as it being emotive, yes, it was emotive. I'll tell you exactly what I felt was that uh, I had personally, I had zero contribution to making that temple. I mean, not even a word of support at the time. Because you kept saying peace instead of saying, that Ram is important to me and my ancestors, that this should be done. So I felt bad about that, and yes, it was emotive. And most of the times when I when I write on X, it is emotive.
It is. It is.
I like to express myself emotionally,
No,
truthfully.
you are very sharpshooter. Even if you criticize the government, you are very clear about why you're criticizing, and they deserve to be criticized. So, but what I wanted to add on to this is in the Ram Mandir Pran Pratishtha, a lot of your contemporaries from the industry were called. So the people who were invited, and we had pictures being flashed on camera and all. What is keeping them from admitting that this was history being created, and what is keeping them from telling their followers, which is like the youth of the country who idolize them, be proud of this Ram Mandir, and yes, we need to wake up and understand what this means for our country.
Sharmi, ask them, na.
I'm
How
asking
can I?
you because you
How can
belong
I
in the
answer?
same industry.
No, no, no. In this industry means what? It's not a homogeneous group. This industry has people from all walks of life, or
So
from
you
all.
are actually admitting that the industry is not one. There are factions.
When did you hear me say industry is one? I think you have the. Are you sure you know who you're talking to? I think you think you're talking to Karan Johar or somebody.
Okay.
Uh,
So, do so you never you don't want to do a movie with Karan Johar if he comes to you with a great script?
I didn't. First of all, I didn't say that, and second, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Okay, okay. So, what kind of scripts are you looking at after Godhra and after your Sunflower is also coming? What are your expectations from that series?
Yes, Godhra releases the March 1, I'm told, and yes,
Why
Sunflower
are you
season.
saying I am told? Do you think that there might be problems in the dates?
Because like I said, I have a small supporting role in it. I'm not actually one of the lead actors in that film, and whatever I'm being told by the producers, I'm sharing with you. And yes, with smaller films, sometimes it can, unlike big mainstream films, which become Patthar Pe Lakeer ke we are releasing on this date. A lot of times with smaller films, it happens that some delay happens, some problem happens. So that's why,
Also,
to be
are you
safe,
skeptical about the number of screens being given to such an important film?
I there have been films in my career which were far more important than Godhra is to me personally in my professional career, which have not got shows. So I
Hmm.
stopped asking those questions long time ago. I do my job and that's it, because I don't want to get into
Hmm.
my own apprehensions and difficulties in work. But to come back to what you had asked me, yes, Godhra should be out 1st March, and Sunflower
Hmm.
season 2 is out on Z5 on 1st March, and Sunflower season 2 is more of a roller coaster ride than season 1.
Yeah.
Uh, and so this season we also have the addition of the lovely Ada Sharma,
Sharma.
sorry,
Yes.
Ada Sharma, and so she brings in a lot of energy, a lot of you know vibrance to the season, and I hope people
More energy than Inspector Tambe.
matching, definitely matching. I think Girish sir and Ada, you can say that they are the two powerhouses in the
Ji.
series.
And Sunny Grover was such a
Sunil
very
Grover, yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
and Sunil Grover was it was very surprising that he has that
Yes.
that quirk in him and
Yes, I've said this. I've said this in interviews. I don't think anybody else could have played Sonu other than Sunil. In fact, that was one of the first things that I told Vikas sir when he told me that Sunil is going to be playing Sonu. I was like, this is like superb casting. I don't think anybody else can pull it off.
Ranveer, you spoke about this faction camps in the industry. Do you see things getting a little better, a little welcoming? Uh, yeah. What do you see happening? This stepmotherly treatment that certain actors, certain filmmakers get in the industry. Do you see a way out of this? Like, what is the way out? How do you people tackle this, or what do you what would you suggest young actors or aspiring actors, aspiring filmmakers to on tackling this kind of the stepmotherly treatment meted out by certain camps?
Well, first would certainly be what I've already told you, which is making more films, creating more avenues, more kind of films, more number of films. Now you have streaming platforms also, so you have like this pressure cooker valve in terms of whatever, because cinemas are more controlled by a closed group, and of course some of that now has started coming onto the streaming platforms as well. But by and large, streaming platforms are still far more democratic than the theatrical scene. So just having more series made, more content made, will help writers, technicians, actors, filmmakers. As far as I don't know how to see. Film industry is just one of the places, one of the areas in this country where this kind of feudalism exists, you
Hmm.
know. And that's one of the reasons why I have vehemently remained anti dynasty, anti-dynasty politics, and especially with the Congress Party, which held an unbelievable 60, 70 years of 3, 4 generations of dynastic rule on this country in a democracy. I just don't
Hmm.
know why people don't, I don't know why people are not just, asking themselves what the hell happened. I
I
mean,
think people are right now. They are means
no,
especially
no,
listening to what Rahul Gandhi is saying.
no.
I
If
think
you
they
look
are.
at I was in this case, I was referring more to the global community. If you
Okay.
see, yeah, I don't know how they just completely overlook this thing. Calling Modi fascist, but not batting an eyelid at the fact that for 60, 70 years, one dynasty ruled a country in a democracy.
Yeah.
That does not seem odd to you, but a three-time chief minister gets elected as prime minister and then gets elected as second time. That seems fascist to you, not
Hmm.
democratic. But one family ruling for 60, 70 years almost does
But
not
they
seem.
might, but Ranveer, they might come up with an answer that कोई मतलब कोई face थी ही नहीं उनको oppose करने के लिए.
Whose fault is that? What is a dictator? What is a dictator? A dictator is this only, na? दूसरे का face नहीं आने देना. What do they do in the film industry? People who can do दूसरे को नहीं आने देना. यही
जी.
तो होता है डिक्टेटरशिप. यही तो होता है कि हम दूसरे को नहीं आने देंगे, तुम्हारी पिक्चर नहीं लगने देंगे.
हाँ, ये सही. आप अपने नेक्स्ट प्रोजेक्ट्स के बारे में बोल रहे थे.
um, So, Sunflower and Godhra out now, March 1. Then I'm going to go to Uttarakhand to shoot a small comedy film. Uh,
Okay.
जिसके बारे में जब बन जाएगी फिर और बात करेंगे.
जी. And one last thing, you had said earlier कि मंदिर नहीं यहाँ पे हॉस्पिटल बननी चाहिए. मंदिर बन गया, आप खुश हो?
Yes, of course.
एंड आप खुश क्यों हो और आप अपने फॉलोअर्स को क्या कहेंगे कि क्यों खुश होना चाहिए?
सबसे पहले तो खुश होना चाहिए कि राम जन्मभूमि पर रामलला का मंदिर बना है. सबसे पहली बात.
जी.
सेकंड इसलिए खुश होना चाहिए कि हमारी जो नेशनल कॉन्शियसनेस, नेशनल आइडेंटिटी में जो एक कॉन्फ्लिक्ट बड़े सालों से चल रहा था, उसका वो खत्म हुआ है. दिस शुड बी टेकन एज अ स्टेपिंग स्टोन टू पीस एंड हार्मनी एंड क्या कहते हैं, प्रोग्रेस, टुगेदर प्रोग्रेसिंग एंड इंक्लूसिव प्रोग्रेस.
जी.
ये दो वजह मुझे लगती है. और
एंड
मैंने तब भी कुछ ये नहीं कहा था कि वहां मंदिर नहीं बनना चाहिए. अगेन आई एम सेइंग आई वाज ऑफ द आई हैड सेड, वो तो कोई इंटरव्यू में मैंने एक ही बार कहीं पब्लिकली अगर कुछ बोला है, वो भी इन द हीट ऑफ द
या इन द फ्लो, वो फ्लो
इन
में.
द
हाँ.
फ्लो में मैंने बोल दिया था कि कोई ये सम कोई मॉन्यूमेंट या हॉस्पिटल भी बना दो, बट एंड द कॉन्फ्लिक्ट. मैंने ऐसे कहा था. इट वाज नॉट दैट आई वाज एंटी मंदिर. All I had said was that if we have to sacrifice it for peace, I'm okay with that.
ओके.
So I don't think one should at all doubt my happiness at having a Ram temple at
जी.
Ayodhya. Yeah.
After this, a lot of people, a lot of country people are gung ho about Gyanvapi and Mathura. What do you have to like say about
जी
that?
देखिए, ज्ञानवापी का जहां तक सवाल है, if you've been to Varanasi to
Yeah, I
Banaras,
have.
I don't think it needs any survey, any.
It's an open and shut case. Yeah.
So that is Gyanvapi. Now, Mathura ke, mujhe, I am not that familiar with the details, but of course, I'm sure there is hard evidence to prove that because it is Mathura. There is hard evidence to prove that, and I'm sure the the legal recourse that the community is taking will bear fruit eventually.
Chalo, fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Ranveer, it was great talking to you. I have, you're so unapologetic about about your thoughts, and you don't mince words. Just like you don't,
But
have
if
that
I
thing.
but if I ever make a mistake, I'm happy to apologize. I am not perfect.
Yeah,
I am capable of making mistakes. I'm also capable of owning up to my mistakes and apologizing for them.
because we are humans, and humans are
Yeah.
prone to making mistakes. So that's okay. You have a great day, and
Thank you.
congratulations on Godhra. All the best for it, and all the best for Sunflower season 2
Thank
as
you.
well. Have fun in the shadi.
You too. You too.
Chalo.
Thank you, Sharmi. Thank you. Bye.
Bye, bye, bye.